All right. Why do you think the futures are down today? Yesterday, we actually saw the futures higher with the same concerns about a government shutdown. Is this investors responding to a very contentious meeting between the president and congressional leaders, or is it something else?
Well, we think it's two factors. Clearly, there is more nervousness today. There had been hope yesterday that that meeting with the leaders would lead us closer to a resolution and not closer to a shutdown. It seems clear coming out of that meeting that unless something really surprising happens today, that we will see at least a short government shutdown. But the other thing I would caution is it's the last day of the quarter. And so we know that it's been a very, very strong quarter over a number of sectors, number of areas. And we think it's not surprising that you might see a little profit taking and some rebalancing coming into the end of the quarters. We'll see where the day ends. I think we've seen frequently in this market that those early morning futures are not indicative of the final strength of the day.
All right. Your word of the day today is participation. Who are we talking about participating, or what part of the market are we talking about participating?
Well, we think participation is a broad word, and we picked it deliberately for that reason, both in terms of who's participating in the market as well as the fact that the market is really broadening. Let me take those separately. The first piece, we've talked a lot in a lot of these programs about the increased participation of retail investors. That's very real. The democratization of the market continues. We think it's actually very bullish that we have a lot of younger people coming into and being active market participants, and we expect that to continue. In terms of the market itself, we've seen the waited for broadening start to happen. We're seeing participation by small and mid-cap stocks. We're seeing participation outside of the Mag 7. We're seeing new industries coming to the fore that are beneficiaries of all the growth trends. And that, too, is a really, really healthy underpinning that could allow this market and should allow this market to continue its bull run.
All right. One part of the market that doesn't seem to be necessarily participating are bond investors. I'm going to take this in a bit of a different direction. Surprised at all to see such a muted reaction from the bond market. Yields pretty much the same level we saw yesterday. And if we do hit a government shutdown, do you think they're going to participate in a way that maybe most people won't like with a sell-off?
Well, I think that's an interesting question. I'm not honestly sure, but there's a scenario that says that in the case of a government shutdown, which will have a modest but a short-term negative economic impact, that will help make the case for the Fed to ease, perhaps somewhat more aggressively than they might have otherwise. And so in that case, we could end up seeing a very positive bond market outlook going forward. The other factor with the bond market, though, is this continued concern on inflation and the budget deficit. I think we need to see third quarter earnings and see that these tariffs are not continuing to not have an inflationary impact in order to get the bond market to react a little bit better.
All right, I want to get to your pick for us today. It's Amcor Technology. This is playing off the AI trade. Why do you think this is a good buy right now?
Well, it's both the AI trade and the reshoring of manufacturing in this country trade. We like it as a backdoor AI play. They're a supplier, of outsourced assembly and test. Think about advanced packaging that's needed for these very sophisticated chips and these servers in the data centers. And there will be a full beneficiary of that. What's particularly interesting about Amcor is they're building a big facility in the United States in Arizona. They're partnered both with Apple as well as with Taiwan Semiconductors. It's the only outsourced assembly and test manufacturing with a significant presence in the United States while also having presence overseas. So we think they've got a number of tailwinds. And I would remind everybody that semiconductors are the backbone of technology. We can't have any of the advances we're excited about, whether it's quantum, space, robotics, AI, without semiconductors to drive those advances.